should you invest in Lagos or should you invest in your village? And if I came to you and you had maybe 50 million naira, 30 million naira, 100 million naira, and you asked me to advise you, what do you think the right answer is? Now, many of you may say it depends. Many of you may say, where is your village? But the truth of the matter is that there's only one answer to that question. And the answer is Lagos. And there's only one reason if you actually boil and look at it from a certain perspective. And the only reason why Lagos is the only answer is that because Lagos is the only megacity in Nigeria. I would even go as far as even saying in the whole of West Africa/Africa. Now, what is a megacity? A megacity is a city that has inhabitants of more than 10 million. And in the top 10 rankings, however you're going to, whichever stat you're going to employ, you would see Tokyo sitting at the very top, and Lagos is the top 10. Lagos State government, in their own documentation for their plan for the 2052, they project Lagos to get to about 22 million, and currently Lagos has a population of 14 million people, over 14 million people. And so, when you look at the trends, let me just give you a particular website that does the listings of the top 10, and we'll just take it from there. So, sitting at the very top for most of them is Tokyo, and Tokyo comes around with about 35 million residents. And then when you keep going down, Manila, you keep going down to Nauru, La Riconada, and you keep going down, then you get to Lagos, the city Lagos. Now, Tokyo, which is at the top, 35 million, in Japan, it produces 80% of the GDP. 80%. And about that same percentage of the population of the entire Japan lives in Tokyo, which also explains the economics of the reason why Lagos produces 15% of the GDP of Nigeria, and about a third of the population of Nigeria lives in Lagos. And so, this is for the misguided elements that keep saying, go to your village or, go to your own state. Because people do not even understand global trends and understand that it's a wonderful thing to have a city drive the economy of a place. That's what applies in the world over. Ireland, for instance, in fact, Ireland has such a huge, Dublin rather, such a huge housing crisis now because everybody wants to come to Dublin. Dublin is where most of the tech companies, had their headquarters at because of, tax and all of those issues. And, it's always disproportionate if you want a city, a global city, as far as population goes. Most of the population would want to go there because that's, even London. London is not a mega city, but you see most people want to go to the city that generates the greater percentage of the GDP. And in fact, that's why the UK at some point, they came up with the Levelling Up Act, because they were saying, okay, we don't want all of the resources to be pushed to just this central place. These central places like London, we want to be able to touch other districts and other areas, other towns, so to speak. So purely from an economic point of view, purely from a statistical point of view, because at the end of the day, whatever you invest in, you need off-takers, you need people that would buy it, you need people that would live there, you need people that would take up the office space, you need people that would take up residential space, you need people that would, want to transact, want to move there. People are moving in. And in fact, I was talking to somebody, I don't know where he got this start, but he told me that in the next century, Lagos will be the largest city. in the world. So, talking about population, as far as population goes, and Lagos is rapidly urbanizing, and is just shifting from the center, going toward Abuja, going toward Shango Tedo, going toward Ibejileki, going toward Ekpe, going toward even Ogun. And so if someone asks you that question, or if you had to choose, I would say allocate your resources properly. Do get something in your village. Do get something in, a place that is not a global city, is not a mega city. But if you want to compete, if you're looking at the global perspective, if you want to be a global citizen, and if you want to, as far as opportunities go, target yourself. Now, you may have reservations, which I do myself. You may have reservations of how, governance is going. You may have reservations because of the various happenings of demolition and, all of that. But just do your due diligence, do your proper and due diligence. And also, number two thing I should notice is that there is risk in every single aspect of life, but mitigating that risks, or mitigating those risks, mean that if you go for something that is titled, if you go for something that is not, it's not under, that has a registered survey at the very least, that you can verify by the coordinates. Life at the end of the day is a risk. I did a video one day, and there was a fire just by a building close by me, and every day you get into a car. I read a book by Ben Carson, and he was talking about gifted, I don't know if it was Gifted Hands, one of his books, and then he started to break down, take the risk. That's the book. He started to break down the level of risk involved in, first of all, even going to have your bath. You could actually slip and fall in the bathtub or in the shower. Then going to your car, then driving, you could actually have a head-on collision. We could actually sit down and just look at all of the risk, and you just better off just, covering yourself with a blanket and what have you. But at the end of the day, you need to realize that despite and in spite of all of the risk involved, if you measure your risk properly, and if you look for the right investment, and if you do all of your due diligence, I think it's worth investing in a mega city rather than investing in a town or a village. Don't you think so? Thanks very much for watching. Kindly like, kindly share, kindly subscribe. This is the Ownahome.ng TV show. Here on Ownahome, believe that owning a home, owning a property should not make you lose sleep. So we're committed to giving you the very best property recommendations and insider real estate gist. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you at the very next video. Kindly like, kindly share, kindly subscribe. Bye-bye.